So thanks to user reader Delaney, I'm holding a monstrosity. I'm holding the game Sonic Boom. Now, what I've done here is I've gone ahead and disabled the Wi-Fi on my Wii U so I can make sure I get to play this in the way that the publishers thought was really acceptable. So we're going to actually go ahead and start this game without patching. God help us. So we've gotten some emails in the past about me bagging on Sonic. And this is not going to be a full Let's Play. Let's make it clear. And they ask, oh boy, big red button. They ask why it is that if I hate Sonic so much, I talk about Sonic all the time. And then I say ill things about Sonic.
Achieved
that
with CryEngine.
Otherwise, I could just not say. I could just ignore the franchise and just let the fans have what they want. And there's a perfectly legitimate statement to be made there. I could completely just disregard the Sonic franchise and just let it go off into the oblivion of its own. The biggest problem we have is that the franchise itself is still regarded as being important. For some reason I don't entirely comprehend. It's mostly historical at this point. And I guess to a certain extent, we have to talk about it because we do a weekly podcast. We cover Nintendo games, and Sonic is, for lack of a better word, a major player in the third-party space on Nintendo consoles. So, to an extent, I don't really have much of a choice but to continue to acknowledge the Blue Hedgehog's existence. The other reason might be more tied up in the historical precedent. I grew up in the era of, man, Sega does what Nintendo don't, and the stupid console arguments on playgrounds. I never liked the Sonic games, I'll be entirely honest. I always thought they were just badly designed. The level structure mostly designed to kill you. You'd run and you'd hit spikes. The game would be designed to go fast, but then there'd be hazards just out of range that you couldn't see, and by the time you see them, you can't stop to avoid them. It was mostly based on rote memorization of the levels. It didn't feel like it was a purely skill game. It felt like it was largely dictated by whether or not you were able to memorize where the hazards were and then just sort of force your way through the stages. Or you took them too slow and ultimately you lost the gotta-go fastness of it. They put a lot of work into this world here. So I'm not going to really sit here and just pick apart the game. We know this game is bad. Everyone knows that Sonic Boom is a bad game. My intention primarily is going to be to just play a little bit, talk a little bit about stuff. Just talk business and talk Sonic and, oh, I can't hit the plus button on the Wii U gamepad, or the Classic Controller Pro. That's not good. That's the sound of me hitting the buttons, and it's not. Do I have to play with the gamepad? Oh, I hope not. Yeah, I do. We're gonna go ahead and make a new file. I apologize, I feel a little bit of a cold, so if you hear me sneeze, I'll try to edit it out. Oh. Okay. Story mode. Can I use the gamepad now? I mean, the gamepad's synced. It's just didn't let me press plus on. I'm hoping I don't have to hold the gamepad. Keep saying gamepad. The Classic Controller Pro. I hope the Classic Controller Pro works because I don't want to have to use the gamepad the whole time. If I do, we'll just deal with it. Anyway, I want to talk a little bit about Sonic, the franchise, at a moment. So, when I went to E3 last year, the big takeaway from watching Sonic was that this game in particular, felt like it was designed to sell toys and a TV show. God, why is his head so big? Anyway, can I skip this? Can I skip the gamepad? I can't. Okay. Anyway, I can.
You can't outrun me this time!
Oh.
Blast you,
Now,
Sonic!
this is kind of an interesting approach to Sonic that I might be okay with.
Dodge this!
If you reduce Sonic down to its most absolute... Already back to video. To its most basic functionality, you could make essentially a Sonic Endless Runner that's fairly loyal to what Sonic is. And in fact, Sega did. There's a mobile game that's a Sonic Endless Runner. I can't remember what it's called.
Great.
That
Metal Sonic has to show up
apparently
right when
is
Eggman
fairly
is springing
decent.
a surprise attack on us.
This is a reboot of Sonic, which makes me wonder why they felt the need to bring in all the characters. Because we always talk about Sonic and his shitty friends being the problem, but
You need your friends
in fact,
to
there are
save you.
characters. Oh, actually, I don't know about.
I don't need
Okay.
anyone to stop
Actually,
you.
I take it back about
That's
this
what
being
it looks
okay.
like from up
This doesn't
here.
feel good.
Why don't you come down
Um,
here and find out?
Oh, look at that frame
Will
rate.
your
So
friends beat me
this
up?
is.
They are doing a lot of damage.
Talk a little bit about frame
Where is
rate
this
actually.
dark
Pause for a
clearing?
second there.
Whoa! Keep running!
I don't understand why the frame's not locked
Almost
because it's
there.
bouncing all over the.
I have you now.
Bouncing all over the place.
His
Where
aim
it'll
is
speed
getting a
up
lot
and slow
better.
down. So if they just locked it to a lower frame rate, we wouldn't have this problem. But it's not holding its own here. Anyway.
Well, what are you waiting for?
I wonder
After
if perhaps the correct approach for Sega to follow, that radar's not
Oh,
moving,
Sonic!
is for
You know what's
them
better
to
than
just
an ambush?
reduce this back
An
down to
ambush
its
with
most
ice
basic
cream?
That
elements.
sounds delicious. But no, the post-ambush ambush.
And just reduce this game back down to a 2D platformer. They actually seem to have found the script when they made Sonic 4, but then they fucked up Sonic 4. So, I don't think anything but Episode 1 of Sonic 4 ever released. I know fans don't really
So
much
I dug
care
up these
for it.
ancient robots, and it took me forever to figure out how to control them. And then
I
couldn't
really
have
just
all
feel
that
like
effort
they
go
need
waste
to
unless
find
I sick 'em
somebody
on
else.
you. Try to appreciate all the work I put in as they destroy
To make this
you.
game for them.
Toodles!
And they are not the team to make this game. And that's not to say that Sega can't make good games. They make
Here we
Yakuza.
go!
I actually rather enjoy some of the games they make.
So I can see how they work.
Sega is kind of a company that I don't understand in a lot of ways. Like I said, they
Got
make
it.
these Yakuza games that are fairly popular in Japan, but they don't release them here, and Sony has to beg them to put one out.
Watch out,
They
Tails,
don't
have
make a
swords.
Sonic game. Okay,
These guys
I
are
can
good.
evade.
Any advice, Tails?
Oh, please tell me I can use the... No, I still can't use the Classic Controller Pro. Okay. But instead, they continue to make these kind of
Avoid
like
those swords.
franchisey
Once again, solid advice, buddy.
stuff. And this game
Nice
itself
one,
feels very much like a
Tails.
cartoon, and that's obviously they're going for. There's a cartoon tie-in, there are toys, there's... Stop. There's also stuff that makes the game seem like it was
This
secondary,
forest
but...
looks calm and peaceful.
What's this thing? Why's it glowing?
No, it never stays that
there
way.
there is... Oh, okay. Can I put the camera in the wall? Come on. Get right up on Tails. Alright, anyway, diversion aside, they...
Time
fast?
to rev the engine.
What? Time to rev the engine. Anyway,
Sonic, do you see that structure way over there?
it feels like
I
the
do,
right
buddy.
approach
I don't know what it is, but
for
no harm in
them
finding
would
out.
be to just
Let's head over
take
there.
a step back and evaluate what fans of this franchise want. And I'm not entirely sure who the fans of this franchise are anymore. There's definitely people who have nostalgia for it.
Spin dash time.
Spin dash time. I'm obviously not... Did I do that or did it happen on its own? I'm obviously not one of those people. But those people do exist. Otherwise, we wouldn't care when the Sonic game comes out.
Let's figure out a way to get across this.
Yep.
We did it.
We certainly did, Sonic. But those people aren't who they're making games. There it is. Those people aren't who they're making games for. I guess that's a checkpoint. Those people are... This game is obviously targeting, children. And that's fine if that's what Sega wants to do. If they've decided that this franchise is, a kid's franchise. And ultimately, Sonic is very childish. But their plan is to just, market this to a new generation of children every few years. And Sonic Boom Reboot makes a lot of sense because you sort of follow the Disney TV show model. And if you're not familiar with that, Disney has a philosophy for their TV show that
Nice stuff.
they don't want to... Essentially, they want to remake... They want to launch a new show every few years. And they want to retire an old show every few years because the kids grew up with the show, have grown
We need to
out of
find
it,
the best way
and
through
new
this
kids
place.
want
I think
something
we should
new
split up
that's
for a bit.
theirs, that they
You
own
take the left,
distinctly.
and I'll check out the right.
So a reboot of Sonic makes
Sounds
sense
like
in
a
that
plan.
standpoint. Like they're going out there and saying, "This is, hey kids, here's this hip, cool new Sonic." I mean, he's got. Oh, we're in 2D mode. Okay. Wait, hold. Tails? Okay. Why can't I go fast? Alright. So they decide to just reboot and make a toy line, whatever. But I do wonder if that is ultimately a losing strategy for this franchise. Because right now, with the sort of progression of mobile games as where a lot of the industry is headed, and I do wonder... Can I escape the level? I'm gonna escape the level. I do wonder if Sega will ever make that move.
I'll bet these pillars will be
totally.
useful.
Well, I broke it, so. If things like the Sonic franchise sort of only have value insofar as they are something that
That
Candy
large
Crush doesn't
structure
have,
is
a
up
name
ahead.
that people might know.
Let's check it out.
But I wonder if the long-term effects of these kinds of things. God, that running animation.
You made
Sorry.
it!
The long-term
What happened
effects
to
of
Metal?
these things sort of diminish
Let's
the value
just
of the
say he
franchise.
won't be bothering us again.
It seems like
Unless
it's-
he comes back.
God, her
Where
face.
is
It
this-
seems like it's a series that's I can't watch
Looks
that.
like
That's
we
in
have a
need of
fight,
a prestige
Knuckles.
title, and that's what I thought Sonic
Alright,
4 was going to
fight
be.
by a creepy tomb. This day just keeps
Oh, I guess I have to do it.
getting better.
That's a miss.
Oh, it might not work. Oh no! You know, and I'm not saying that every Sonic game has to be nostalgia fests. I think there's definitely an approach.
Where are those worm things going?
Huh. Maybe they fixed it. So if you don't know what I'm trying to do here, I congratulate you on having avoided this nonsense. But there was a bug when this game came out that let you jump infinitely. And what I'm trying to do is do it. But I can't. Which is upsetting, because that was part of the reason I even bothered to play this thing after Delaney sent me. It didn't patch, though.
We win.
Maybe it did
Nice
patch.
work,
Maybe it
Knuckles.
patched even though it told me it couldn't patch. This combat feels really bad. Anyway, it seems to me like Sega should really try to work two tacks on this franchise. They should continue to make
That was awesome.
these things. They must sell. They wouldn't keep making them. Things targeting new generations of children. We're not going to watch this video. But at the same time,
Whoa,
produce
look over
content
there.
that...
What do you
We're still
think
not
that
going
is?
to... No, I can't skip this
It
one.
may lead to a
Produce
path out of
content
our
that-
current predicament.
Continues to
And that's where
burnish
we're
the
headed.
franchise. And
We can't get
this is one of those
across this huge
situations
chasm.
where what they really need to do
Gang,
is they need to find
there
the
are
right
doorways to our right.
developer.
Then we go that way.
I want to skip.
No
I wanna
time
skip.
like the present.
They need to find the right
Wait,
developer
there are
who can
presents?
produce a faithful 2D Sonic game. And that's
This
going to be
section is
hard
mine.
because
Only someone of my stature and brains can handle this.
I'm the only one who can handle this area. Thanks, though.
I got this one.
I'll meet you up there. I'll go this way.
Let's get out of here.
anyway. It seems like spin dash. Spin dash. There we go. All right. It seems like the
I
only
can spin
real
upward using this ramp. I
Oh,
love rings.
I
bet
love
that pressing
rings.
this button will do something.
Yeah, it did something. It seems like the right developer is probably not something that's gonna be very easy to find. I mean, you need somebody who could make a game that's not overly beholden to its past, but at the same time as
Rings are life.
they
baby.
basically need to make new Sonic Brothers. And I don't know how you do that, because I'm not sure that the
This
people who
wall
made
can be
Sonic
broken.
are the people that you'd want to make it. Because right now, I look at those people and they're kind of responsible for the Sonic and Friendsingness of this. I mean, the people who are revered for their work on the first Sonic games are responsible for things like Big the Cat. So, how do you find someone who you trust to produce a game that you actually care about? And the answer probably is that you have to go outside Sega, which is what they did here. Which is a different response. It kind of would point to like what Capcom was doing in the late 2000s. They had brought in, I want to say it was Green, of Advanced Warfare fame, to produce these sort of reboots of classic classic Capcom franchises. They did Bionic Commando, and they also did Bionic Commando Rearmed. Of course, Rearmed is much more highly regarded than Bionic Commando. I don't know why I even bothered to get to it. But they also brought in, they also had Grin take a passive Strider game. I want to say they were working on another Capcom franchise as well, but ultimately Grin doesn't exist anymore, so Grin's not really your choice. But that's kind of what Sega needs to do. They need to find somebody who they can put enough trust in to produce a good game. And I don't know if you just go to the indie scene and try to find somebody who's making indie platformers right now.
A bounce pad.
I'm not even
this
playing
bounce
games.
pad leads to.
I'm just... Alright. I'm not sure who is your go-to when you're trying to produce unique and interesting speedy platformers.
Let's get out of here.
Like, do you go and hire somebody like Team Meat who makes... who makes these kind of super challenging platforms? They're not going to make a Sonic game. You just have to go find somebody in that space who's making games
Knuckles
right
and
now.
I would most efficiently handle this situation.
Shut up,
Let's
Tails.
get going.
Who
they can meet up
is
with us later.
capable of producing a game that's actually worth playing. And that's sort of the challenge, really, when you're a publisher. Is
I can glide over to that.
making sure that the people you get to make the game are actually someone you care about. Of course, the other problem is that right now, after Sonic 4, I can't imagine that old school Sonic fans are going to give Sega any faith whatsoever.
Structural integrity of this wall is quite poor. Look at all the rings.
Great. I can't imagine that hardcore fans of the old Sonic games are going to give Sega any faith whatsoever that they can produce a game that's worth playing. So they're going to have to... So part of it's going to have to be making sure that the people they bring in are actually respectable. And a big portion of what Sega needs to do is change their perception that they're not
I never leave a ring behind.
I mean, that might...
Logically, this button must be connected to something.
God damn it, Tails.
We need to activate that button.
As mean as this may sound, Sega has a problem that they are perceived as being ineffectual. They can't produce good games. That they're just not capable of the task of producing a good game. And as long as they maintain that sort of funk, that people sort of view them as these sort of monumentally incompetent developer-publisher teams, as long as the Sonic cycle remains a thing, that they're not going to be able to produce a Sonic game that's successful with fans of the Sonic franchise who aren't fans of Sonic and his shitty friends. They might be able to produce a game that's popular with children, you know, Sonic Boom style, where they're just selling these characters. They're not as concerned about gameplay, but they're not going to be able to produce a game that really motivates people who are, you know, hardcore video game players to play it.
That's good. Let's get out of here.
Right now, this game's not fun, and that's sort of the reputation that they've got right now, is that they produce Sonic games that aren't fun. And this is probably, I mean, a little bit unfair. And I don't mean that because these games are good.
This should
but
take me up.
probably just because they just
I
can't. You
propose we
can't
collect
assume
some
that they're going to
rings.
screw up every
A
single
bounce
game
pad.
because they haven't. It's just
The light receptacle in that large room resembles the
They
one
screwed up
above
this
that
game.
door below.
And they screwed up
We
a lot
should
of the
find a
3D
way to divert the beam.
it.
When doors open that
This
you
is
don't have to
ultimately
knock on,
when your job
that
as a
usually
publisher at a
means
platform
bad
holder.
things are ahead.
They don't call it a platform anymore.
I feel like a
Is to
pinball.
understand the talent of the teams you're bringing in. And to be fair, Big Red Button had a bunch of people from it front who were successful in games like Jak and Daxter. Like, there's no reason they
Okay,
shouldn't have had the
Sonic,
pedigree to
it's
make
you
this
and
work.
me.
But they didn't. And it doesn't. And this feels bad.
Easy as 1, 2, 3.
Okay. This just doesn't feel good. And I don't know.
This button must do something. I think I can break that
I
wall
don't know
down. What girl
why
doesn't like
this
rings?
game is what this game is. This, I'll give you an example. This section right here just feels like they were trying to sell nostalgia. Like, man, it's a 2D game, look at it. That's it. At the same time, it feels like they were trying to introduce you to the character's skill sets. And
Let's
It's-
see what this button does.
it doesn't feel good. I mean, yes, I now understand that Amy can triple jump. But why? I mean, what? Her animations have too many keyframes, and it's just not fun. I want to get out of this area and get to the open area behind it, because, you know, what I've seen of this game, I know that this isn't reflective of what I'm going to play. But I'm not
That
going to play
wall
this whole
looks
game
breakable.
because I have better things to do with
Can't
my
get
life.
enough rings.
And Delaney sent me other shit I have to get through. So at some point, you're gonna have to give me a pass on not
I'm not
playing
gonna
all
turn
the
down a
time.
ring.
I will say that when we did the episode 400, hey, let's look at some really shitty games that I bought for people who very kindly gave us money. God, these jumps just don't feel right. John and I talked about some of these games, and my takeaway from when I played them was that it feels like a lot of bad platformy games just don't already? God, just don't understand like basic jumping. The timing here is super bad. Oh, it's on a timer, great. Great. So we just wait it out again. It's hard to kind of nail this timing. I'm not trying to just find things to complain about with this game. It's just, it's super finicky. Oh, damn it. This isn't fun, if you can't tell. This feels bad. And it kind of gets to the idea of game feel. This has bad game feel. And of course, it's fairly apparent that gotta go fast isn't actually part of this conversation. At least I didn't fall off the side that time. I promise I'm not terrible at video. Alright. This might be a really short video. There we go.
That wall looks weak.
Yeah, it does. I just don't understand how a
This should get
publisher
me out of here.
doesn't understand game feel, because game
Could
feels
this
super
shaft of light
important with
trigger the
something like
exit
this.
door?
You want it to feel good and rewarding, and this just feels
That did it.
slow and
Let's get
sluggish.
outta
And
here.
the timing's not right. There's just things that are wrong here, and this is sort
Take
of
me someplace cool.
just not fun. I mean, I'm repeating myself. I understand. There's just something about this doesn't feel like a
How
game.
about Tails and I handle this?
It just feels like a game engine. Oh.
I can climb this easily. climbing, the only way to travel.
Like,
I know these buttons.
why do characters... Actually, I want to talk about that. The fact that these characters keep talking.
We need to activate that button.
It's time to bash.
It tells me a lot about what their intentions were.
I can
with
hang
this
onto
game.
the ceiling and climb across.
Because ultimately,
Rings are cool.
rings are cool. Because ultimately, everything here is just sort of There's nothing good about hearing Tails tell me to hit a button. This entire game so far has been hit buttons.
Let's
I don't need someone to
bounce on
tell
this
me
button.
that. But really, I feel like the conversations about buttons and bounce pads is really more flavor text. It's really more designed to go like, man, isn't Knuckles a radical dude?
Someone put this button here for a reason.
Like, they're trying to characterize Knuckles. They're not trying... I don't feel like they're still trying to tutorialize me. It would be... Even for a very, very, very young child, like
Piece of
Creamies,
cake.
that would be over-tutorialization. This is kind of designed primarily just to characterize Knuckles and Tails and Sonic and Amy. And it sort of goes back to this just being a part
Watch out.
of
This wall is coming down.
the multimedia strategy that was Sonic Boom. Sonic Boom is about toys and TV shows and games. It's not about producing the best Sonic games possible. I mean, I can't believe they called it Sonic Boom after the rather embarrassing E3 video of note, which, if you haven't seen, just, it's bad. But, ugh. But there is, like, this is really more about them just trying to make sure you know that Sonic and his friends are cool. It sort of reminds me a little bit of when they put soap shoes on Sonic and Shadow in Sonic
Pad
Adventure 2. And they're-
going up.
yeah. And it was like,
Guys, I know
look
I
how
never the
radical
one to
they are.
figure
Extreme
anything
sports!
out, but
You know,
did
it was
ever think
of an
the
era.
light should be
You know, that
pointed
was
out the
sort of
door?
at the heyday of the Tony Hawk Pro Skater games. Like, they wanted you to
Guys,
know
the
that
door is open.
Sonic was hip with the
Awesome
kids.
teamwork.
So,
Bounce pad.
in this case, really, they're not behaving particularly
Hey, we made
differently
it all
from
the
what
way
I would
around to
expect to
this
see
room.
of a children's show,
See?
like a
All
Nickelodeon
that
show.
hard work
So,
paid off. Our journey was a success.
no, stop
Finally.
talking.
I'm tired.
We're gonna watch this one, because
You see,
I need a
guys,
break
I
from
told you
Pledge's
I'd
game.
find the exit. No
but
problem.
I mean, there's nothing here that's particularly out of place for a children's cartoon show. It's just not good. I would actually direct you to a show like The Penguins of Madagascar. This show sort of, this character redesign sort of
Those doors were to
stylistically
keep us out.
resembles
They were to
what
keep
that
that
show
in.
does. And of course, that's a spin-off.
Let's get out of here. Oh,
Show-
wait, I forgot.
movie, but-
we can't.
You know, it's got that sort of
Not cool, Sonic.
very
Locked us
rounded
in.
heads, you know,
Locked us
very
in?
animated
I was
motion,
saving you.
big
I
eyes,
didn't need saving.
goofy hijinks, hyper personality.
Guys, can we put a
Anamorphic
pin in this
animals.
for a second?
Skip. And oh, camera.
you
Oh,
too?
camera. Come on, camera. Bring it back now. Can I change characters? Look. So it does make me kind of wish that I want to change characters. It does make me kind of wish these characters weren't in a video game.
We
Like,
gotta
this
stop
is
that
just sort of
slithery
a
psycho.
movie.
First, we gotta get out of here.
No.
Careful, guys. These robots can shoot at us.
Guys, he must have cracked the wall when he left. We need to
What?
break it. Oh, see? I am smart.
Like, why do I have this? This doesn't feel good. That feels like something that happened
It
from
did break.
playtesting.
That was my
Like, there was
idea.
just something that didn't feel right about the combat, and they're like, well, we'll just let you
All right,
lasso.
Here we go, everyone.
I feel like my old self again.
You know, Michelle
I think
Ancel
it's
could
safe
make
to
a
say
really
that
pretty
entering
Sonic
the
game.
tomb was probably a bad idea.
He's kind of busy, and I'm not sure Ubisoft's allowed to make anything that's not Assassin's
Let's
Creed.
just stop this guy and then argue, okay?
But like, I look at this and I
Stay
think
close.
of
I
like
wanna
some of
tie
the
this
lush
snake into
forests
a knot.
that show up in Rayman Legends, and I think, wow, that's really pretty. I don't really do anything right now, by the way. I'm just letting this go.
If this guy knows
And
and
I-
hates me,
I just
have
kinda
to have
wish
met him before.
There
This
was
snake was supposed to stay frozen.
something fun here,
he
like
just
a
stuck his
Sonic game
tongue
that
out
has
at
good
me.
levels,
Or it
2D
was
Sonic
a
game with
slither.
good levels
Either
and
way, it was rude.
fun characters
You
and
can't stop me.
nice gameplay, and I jumped over that. Could be really cool. Could be, you know, could be something worth
I
playing.
am
And
too powerful.
I don't
can't
feel like it's
defeat me.
beyond a good
Sailor,
developer
this
to
snake
make
has some
that game.
firepower.
You won't get the jump.
And I feel
on
like
me
Sega
this
could be
time.
successful selling that
This guy
game.
packs
Maybe
a
just need
punch.
to sort of rethink
I
what
must
Sonic
get to
is.
my lair.
Wow, we need to get out of here.
We're back on Game Feel. I can't even. Oh, frame
We won't
rate.
let you
Oh,
get
goodness.
away.
My dear friend.
I can't follow a lot of what's happening right now. It's just happening really fast, and the camera's not in a place to help me. But that sort of tells me what I'm looking at. It tells me that they don't really care. Okay. Is that the end of the game? That's the end of the game, right? So this is the open area that I was mentioning earlier that I wanted us to get to, just for the purpose of understanding what the game is like. We'll probably call it in a little bit. But I do wonder if they should just take the Mario tact here and just say there is a team that is making 2D Mario games. They are super traditional. They do not try a lot of new things. We introduce some new powers, but they are what they are. And a team that gets to make 3D Marios. Just... Who's Cliff? Again, I feel like I should be watching the TV show because...
Yep.
Find Cliff. I'm trying to make sure I'm not just screwing this up. In fact, I'm going to pause this for a second while I look up how to do the Knuckles jump thing, just to make sure that maybe I don't somehow have a patched version of the game, even though it said it wasn't patched. Because, I don't know, maybe. This is sort of the importance of playtesting, though, because this game just doesn't feel good. And sometimes we don't talk too much about game feel. We'll just say something like, it's super fun, but this isn't great. I'm opening up something on my phone now because I'm prepared. I really should have just watched a video ahead of time. I might cut this out if I could figure out how to edit it. So yeah, it does look like that somehow, even though the game told me it can't patch.
What is that thing over there?
I
It-
think
it
it's from
did.
Eric's time.
That's
From what I
disappointing.
know, it's meant to hold something
It's also
powerful.
possible the
Nobody
disc
really knows
version of
what,
this
though.
game doesn't have
Here's a bounce
the glitch in it,
pad.
which is unfortunate. I do feel like if you were to make a game with
We
just
should
Sonic
make our
Knuckles
way
and
over the
Tails
bridge.
and just call it Sonic Knuckles, Sonic Tails and Knuckles, you know, sort of a play on Sonic and Knuckles, as opposed to calling it Sonic 5 because Sonic 4 poisoned the numbering
Looks
scheme.
like a construction pit.
Oh,
over
the
there.
frame rate didn't like that. You could make that 2D game and just make it work. Can't break this. This is unbreakable. This shovel is unbreakable. Let's see if I can just break the camera instead. Actually, they're doing a pretty good job keeping the camera locked pretty far behind you, so I can't just jam it right up Sonic's face. I do like that they all just get out of your way when you're walking. That's fun. What do I do here? Do I hit this button? Is there an interaction? Yeah, I don't understand the electric lasso. It was probably in that video I skipped, but I don't understand why they felt like that was the mechanic this game demanded.
Anyone see a way forward?
Vehicles have platforms on them. Can we raise them?
I don't feel like the art here is particularly
It's working.
terrible.
Keep going.
Sonic, I mean, the characters look kind of silly, but like the level here, you know, it's interesting design, or interesting
I
enough
suggest we lower
design.
this plank so we don't have to go.
Why
Is this
are you
Cliff?
talking to me? I do not understand. Did I call
No.
you over? No. Did I look like I was calling you? No. I am just trying to prepare a decent meal for the poor culinary devoid workers.
All right, well, okay then.
Bouncy,
Oh god, okay. Frame rate held together on that one. That was fun. I just don't know exactly. I guess that's the bounce. No. No. There's something just super unsatisfying about that fall. That's not a button. Is that a button? No, that's not a button. Oh, there we go. Okay. Now? No. I don't know. It's...
Here's a bounce pad.
She says after I've already hit it. It's just hard with the objective here very obviously being to sell these characters. It's not unthinkable that this could be a good game. Even though I spent time saying, oh, the problem with this game is that it's all about selling these characters, because ultimately you can build a game that's really a mechanism for showing off your interesting characters. Can I ride this? What button does laser hand? I can't laser hand that. You know, I'd point you to something like, oh, I don't know, Conker. Conker's Bad Fur Day really isn't a great game. It's certainly a good game. Certainly, this is not a good game.
Let's
Not
bounce on this
comparing the
button.
relative quality of those two products, but a lot of Conker's fun comes from the fact that they've got these characters that are just that. Granted, I don't think Sega's ever going to allow somebody to... That's all I did was get that. Are you serious? I don't think Sega's ever going to allow, you know, a bunch of what happened in that series, in that game, to happen here, but certainly you can produce a game that's talky characterization and it still be good. You don't have to sacrifice that quality in order to... Is there anything up there, or is it just rings? You don't have to sacrifice quality for
Well,
that.
hello there. Oh, I am pretty busy right now.
merge
I
them together.
suggest you either make an appointment or come back later.
There we go. Look at that. Look at that. Look at us just merging together. Pick an
I'm
intent.
fighting a pretty good flu epidemic right now. I would really love to talk to you, but it will have to
All
be
right.
later.
They're excavating a biplane. That has to be from the ancients. I could totally fly that. I wonder how it got there. Crashed? Avalanche.
What? There's just something about this game. It's just, there's so much space. I legitimately didn't know that was gonna happen. Give me a minute. Alright. That was fantastic. I kind of want to call it there, but I also kind of want to do that again. That's the guy that won't talk to me. Wait, is there a button? It is weird that this game spent so much time tutorializing in those 2D sections, then the first time it drops you in an open 3D 3D world, it doesn't give you any kind of hint as to what you're supposed to do. It does go back to the idea that they don't think kids are dumb. They just don't. They're just trying to sell these characters. I mean, where am I going? What am I trying to accomplish here? This is obviously a hub. Excuse me, a hub world. I can't hit those buttons, so I must need to unlock that stuff as I progress through the game. I mean, this looks like it was meant to be kind of an open world game at some point. I mean, you can sort of see it. Alright, back over here. You can sort of see that there was supposed to be kind of like exploration you could take. But, oh, I want to do that again. I'm not going to do it right now. I'm going to try to be good. I'm going to try to play the video game. It just doesn't feel good. Like, there's just... Like, it looks like they tried to make an open world, realized the game engine couldn't handle it, and then just didn't. I think I've been over here. I've definitely been over here. So I hit that button and it moved that thing, and then it took me over there, but that didn't do anything. You can't lasso that. I have no idea where oh, whoa, teleporting. I have no idea where I'm supposed to go. Can I get over there? Can Tails fly that far? I bet Tails can't fly that far. There's no way Tails can fly that far. Is that even real? Is there an invisible... What? Somebody drowned before I even got there. That's awesome. I'm happy with that. All right. So I got here and that seemed like an accomplishment. So that must mean something. It does not. Can I go up there? Is there something up here? Where the hell am I going? Oh wait, oh, Amy? Triple jump? No, oh, this is the thing that Sonic bounced off earlier. I'm sure that people online are screaming, all the Sonic Boom fans are just completely in a rage that I can't solve this problem. But, wait, did we do it? Did we beat the video game? Oh, isometric camera angles. Oh. Alright, so that wasn't anything. This is kind of a mess. Like, I don't even know where I'm supposed to be going. I'm just sort of running around and doing stuff. I'm supposed to find Cliff, I guess? But I don't know where Cliff is. What Cliff is?
We're here. We need to find Cliff.
I guess we found Cliff.
Cliff! Thank goodness we found you.
Jesus.
I didn't know I was missing.
What do
More
you know
video
about
game
an
characters,
ancient
or
tomb
more
with a
TV
giant
show
snake in
characters.
it?
Can't say I know much. Oh, but I do know about an ancient prison with a giant snake in it.
Well, how about you tell us about that one?
The snake's name is Lyric, and he
Like,
was locked away to prevent
I'll
him
give
from
it. That was
destroying all
kind
life
of
in the world.
an amusing joke. Like,
He's the last surviving member
a good
of
kid's
a
joke.
long-lost civilization called
You know,
the
but-
Ancients. They harvested all the
It's just
energy
not
they
holding
needed
it
from
together.
powerful crystals. Despite their advanced technology, the Ancients
I haven't
lived
seen the
in
TV show.
perfect
People tell me
harmony
it's
with
actually not
nature,
terrible. So
except
maybe
for Lyric,
if the
who
TV
schemed
show
to
writers.
steal the crystals
I
and
assume
used
TV show
them
writers
to
were
power
involved
an
in
army
this.
of machines. When the Ancients found out, they
So-
imprisoned him.
I know it's easy to say, well, maybe if this
Ruthless,
game was better, this would be
dangerous,
good. But maybe
remorseless
if
monster.
this gameplay was
Thank goodness
right.
he's locked up.
All right, it's enough of that. It would be okay. Huh? Upgrades? 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 I get upgrades. Money bags. Oh, what? Great. So now what? I probably should have skipped the video. I probably should have kept watching and going through that, because that probably told me where I'm supposed to go.
Sacre bleu! I do not have time to talk to you right now. I am awaiting a delivery of a culinary ingredient so amazing it will change your taste buds forever.
No matter how
Tofu.
no matter how far I get from
My
him.
cart has a switch on it. I bet you can activate it. I can't. Robot arms are small.
No matter how far I get from him, his voice stays exactly the
He's
same.
so cute and kind of helpful.
There's a minecart? There's a minecart. Camera. Camera. Be good. Knuckles, will you stop hitting things? Minecart. Minecart. Where's the minecart? I don't see a minecart. Over there? Oh, no. Falling back in. There are better ways I could be spending my evening than playing this game and talking about business. I've actually been doing a really poor job talking about business. It is funny, though, that this thing is a double contractual obligation. What I mean by that is this game and that TV show and that toy line. Oh, over here? I wasn't even looking at this. And this toy line and...
Use these pads to jump high into the air.
Into the mine, everyone.
Oh, what's yours is mine. All of that stuff just...
I think we can use some of our robot parts to rebuild this.
Oh, you need to... Camera? Camera. Okay. Well, alright, camera. There you go.
Very cool.
This was also one of the exclusive Nintendo platform games that Sega promised for the Sonic franchise. This game actually fulfilled 2 contracts for Sega, at least.
Sweet.
3 if you count the one they
Ava
had
is a
with the
machine that
developer.
will allow you to look at the world and find objects and things that can't be seen with the naked eye. Try and use it now.
Tap the Sonic Eye symbol on the Wii U gamepad to reveal secrets. Oh god, it's Detective Vision. Oh, this isn't... Oh, I bet I can do some serious clipping with this. Come on. Let's put the camera where I want it to. Okay. Was it supposed to find something, or was it just kind of like a... just an FYI? Oh, camera. 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 They're not reversed, they're just sluggish. What am I looking for? That's not... That doesn't feel good. I guess it was just telling me. I guess I wasn't supposed to actually find it. See, that felt good. That actually felt really good. Jumping and flying like that and landing that jump and it sort of short-circuiting areas I needed to run through. That felt really nice. Oh, this map's the gamepad. That's why it was all freaky. So I'm seeing on the gamepad the same stuff. So if I turn around, it's actually doing a pretty good job following where I go. I don't know what I'm supposed to be finding, though. I feel like I'm back where I started. Not knowing what I'm supposed to do next. And the camera is now over Sonic's head, which is... Oh, alright. Getting a little motion sick here, Sonic.
Bounce pad.
Didn't I already break that? Why is it unbroked? I feel like they must wanted me to find something in here. Oh, there's a hole in the wall over there. Okay.
Nice. Ava rocks.
It appears to be a dead end. I wonder if Ava will pick anything up.
I wonder if this wall's breakable.
This is a hidden area.
What about this one?
Right through that wall.
This is the crystal chamber. Now we just need to find a way to get the crystal.
Gee, I wonder. Again, I feel like things like Ava here may have just been in response to playtesting, because that wall was already cracked. It was already pretty easy to see what I was supposed to do. I'm sure if I hit my detective vision button, it would have been easier, but I don't need to, because it was already very obviously cracked.
That should be it. Crystal time.
That's it? So now I need to get up there, which I assume... Good. If I change to one of those guys, am I still over there? Oh, I am. That's good.
Up we go!
Doesn't do me good, but I am. But Amy should be able to triple jump up there. Let me get this. Give me your garbage. And we get a shot crystal.
It's ours! Time to get out of here!
I actually don't think this game is miserable. And that may be somewhat of a divergent opinion. You probably wouldn't expect me to say that. I just don't think it's very good. I think it's not fun. It doesn't control well. The most obvious bugs that people found in it appear to have been patched out. The frame rate just goes to hell every so often. There's some interesting things in the game world.
This way.
If the game looked like this, like it does in these video sequences, it'd actually be a pretty nice looking world. The flat textures on the ground are kind
The
of...
miners are trapped! Can you help me save them? Please save them!
Okay there, fella, calm down. We are heroes, so obviously we can and will help. We're a pretty big deal.
Thank you, thank
Like,
you, thank you!
the humor is kind of there. You know, considering you're aiming it at children, you can't really do anything crazy. But it's just...
All right, Amy, time to shine. Let's
the
go get
control
those
is
miners.
so bad, and the game is just so incredibly not fun that anything it does right is almost instantly
Elevator will take us down to
invalidated
the mine.
by everything it does that's just not enjoyable. I mean, why does she even tell me the
Let's get
elevator
to
to take me
work.
down to the mine? I already figured that out on my own. Well, because they want the characters to talk, just like they do on the TV show.
Got it!
So maybe when I said this is the wrong way to go about it, maybe it's not. Maybe it's, you know, if this game were actually fun, I'm not sure that it would... Oh, I have to take him down there? Okay. I don't much care for that. I was hoping that I wouldn't have to drag him over there, but apparently I do. I just kind of wish this franchise did
I
something.
feel like a pinball.
You know, the people who made this game were aware that what they were making is, you know, somewhat important to the larger health of this franchise.
Thank you.
It's just not fun here. Oh well. That's probably gonna have to do it because I'm running out of things to say, and for whatever reason he can't break this chest, and that's confounding me. So, again, that's the end of this execrable game. There are others games in that box from Delaney that I'm sure are not as terrible as this. And we'll probably do them at some point, but that's Sonic. Hopefully you suffered through this and it wasn't terrible, but it was pretty bad, so. Thanks for watching, I guess. No thanks to Delaney for sending me this thing.